For us, Dishonored 1 was a huge milestone. The obvious is to state that because it was a success, but most of all because it proved to ourselves and to also like the industry in general that this kind of game, the immersive sim, they can actually be successful. They were always seen as niche games in the past, without naming specific games. They were great games, but they never really were, a mass market success. And this one was. For us, it was a big part of our mission, like to bring that kind of game to a larger audience. So very satisfying. Every time we do one of those big games, we know that we commit for a few years of our lives. So it better be a game that you really believe in and want to be proud of shipping. Pressure is there, but it's also very exciting. Dishonored was co-developed between Austin and Lyon. And then for the new round, that's really what defines Arkane right now. It's the first time that we make two games at the same time. So we had to grow Lyon and we had to grow Austin. So that is probably going to be the things I will remember. It's like the growth, the change of office, etc. Keeping the culture is actually it's a real job. We have a philosophy which is not exactly the same as every company's. We like to try new things. We like to explore, experiment for a while. So sometimes we do work and we throw some away. And it takes a specific type of mentality to work at Arkane. The kind of games we do relies on so many little mechanics, and aggregated all of them together, you have this unique experience for the player, and it's something that takes a long time. There's a stew that needs to bake for a few years until it's actually really fun. It's that thing where you design two systems, and when they are on their own, they are what they are. They do what they're supposed to do. But then when they interact together, that's when it's like the magic comes in. And so in our case, it's things such as the mimicking. And there's a simple rule: it's you can turn into objects, mimics can turn into objects, and the reason why both of you can take that is that you take your powers from the aliens themselves, right? So you see those mimics that turn into things, you can learn that from them, and later turn into things as well. Cool. So we try it. And it works and it's fun. People laugh because it does create that thing. The first time you turn into like your chair or something, and then start moving this way, it gives an interesting feeling. And so there's this time where we play and we turn into that can, and there's a mimic, and the mimic comes close to us and turn into that can as well. So now there are three cans on the screen. The original can, me, and the mimic mimicking me. And so that was like one of the yes moments where that's the kind of games that we like to do. The question about humor, it's something that has been existing since Dark Messiah even. And the question is, it's okay if the player laughs because of something that they do, and it all derives from rules and logics, as opposed to something funny. It's not like a joke or something. It's just like, there's a logic here. The mimics can turn into things. You get the power. You turn into things too, and then you start moving. And there's something a little funny about it, but that's fine. You're doing it. You're the author of the joke. Some of us who've done it before, we wait for it, and we know that at some point the game is going to work for us for free in a way. And some others, they're new in the team, so like they wait and they trust. Yeah, there is a moment where we just like, guys, hold your breath. At some point, the magic's gonna happen, and we don't know where from and how, but it's gonna happen. It's part of the process. The game is bold. There's a lot of things where we take risks because we like to try new grounds, and the way we design the aliens is different. Even the game design itself, as far as the amount of mechanics and the amount of layers that we have, it's actually fairly hardcore. It's more on the RPG side than Dishonored was, for example. So there is something there that is also fairly interesting for us to see how players are going to like this. Whenever you do those big AAA games today, they of course they're a huge investment for everybody in time, in money. The thing for a creative team is how do you balance the safety of the approach, like going with what you think is safe for the market, and also going with what you really want to do, and I think we're really on the side of what we really want to do. It is hardcore enough, and fortunately so far when people try it, they like it. Some games will never be hardcore enough for some people. Like no matter what, they think that you're dumbing it down. And for some others, it's already way too complex. Some of it is just a guessing game, an intuition, and some of it is we adjust based on the testing. Yeah, we do a lot of blind testing, and we observe, and then we readjust. We believe very much in that empiric methodology. For us, already making two games is a big deal. the team became big enough and mature enough that it was possible. I don't see this happening in the next round again, you know. So being just two teams doing two games seems to me a good balance. And even then, you know, we're talking about things, but we don't have like precise plans of what's going to happen in the next years. I can assume that we're going to keep doing the same type of game and, you know, doing them better and better as every time we learn something from the previous round. It's what we're set up for. I always keep my enthusiasm for after. So right now I'm like, I have great hopes. I believe in the game, but I'm holding my breath. There's a lot of pressure. You know, we still have a lot of things to fix and some work on it, but I'm very hopeful. There's so many moving parts based on when you ship, and also, you know, the secret bug that you didn't know of or something. It's always hard. All the stars have to be aligned, and they're hard to align. So, you know, everybody's doing the job to align them, but until it's done, it's not done.